I am joined by 3 other Spurs fans, including my girlfriend Amy, to decide which Spurs players we would like to keep, loan or sell this summer. The producer, Jamie, will read out a player's name.
Radu Dragosin.
We will either move left, right or stay in the middle, depending on whether we want to keep, loan or sell that player.
I know.
Play along with us and comment down below what you would do for each player and explain why. We also did a similar thing but for transfer targets, which will be shown exclusively on my TikTok and Instagram, so make sure to follow me there and follow the other guys too. Now let's find out why Forms has lost his mind.
And I know you're all looking at me like, what? We just got him. But when his agent came out and went, if he's not playing consistent first team football, he's gone. Like, I'm going to pull him out of the club. He's young. He's still impressionable by the closest people that are in his circle. And his agent is one of those people. And I just don't want him to soak in that kind of mentality and go, well, they're not moving Romero and Van der Ven on. So if I'm not consistently playing, then I'm going to leave as well.
If we signed him in the summer, he would have played when Van der Ven was injured, when Romero had the sendings off, or when he was out injured as well. I think we would have seen a lot more of him. Look, we've only just got him. We've got Europe next year. We'll probably see him a lot more in the Europa League.
I think he's looked good in every game he's played so far. Obviously, his minutes have been low. He hasn't really had that many starts and everything like that. But if we've got Van der Ven playing as left back, I think that could be the elite line. Obviously, it's very difficult playing someone like Van der Ven left back all the time. If we can do that and bring him into the first team, then that solves your issue.
You know what, I've been so used to not having European football, I actually forgot about that. So I'm going to come and join you.
Yes,
we got him. Maybe I just tried to be a bit controversial. But
we get to keep our sexiest back line as well.
Exactly. Handsome FC.
Wow, it's like, I don't even need a I don't think a word needs to be said.
No.
Yeah.
Venom.
Other than that.
Best right back in the league.
Yeah, facts. Like, there's no real conversation around it other than we're all in agreement. Guys, I can't lie to you. I'm getting
Charles.
Yeah, baby. Oh, I love it. You got to keep him, surely.
Okay.
Just for that alone.
The only reason I was hesitant is because we need to sign another striker.
Yeah.
No matter what. If we could sell him and we do get a decent fee or like most of the feedback for him, that could then fund like a much bigger player. Whether that, okay, Isak's probably not, but like someone that would cost a lot more than some of the other players we might have been linked.
I don't know, I think we need him and someone else. So it's not like sell him and bring someone else in. Because we got him for 60 mil, if we sell him for 45, 50 mil, and then we bring that, it just doesn't make sense in my head. Plus, when he hasn't been injured this season, he's been on fire. Like the return that he got in that like little purple patch that he had this season, if he didn't get injured, I'm convinced that would have continued.
I think if we were to sign another striker, which we've got the money to do anyway, you're not going to find many better backup strikers in the league than Richarlison if you go and buy, say,
especially if there's injuries or like you need to rotate in the Europa League.
And also, like, rival fans will look at it and see the output from Richarlison last season. Okay, all right, maybe fair enough, he's been a little bit better, but he was so important to the way that we played when he was in that purple patch as well. This system needs that focal point, and I think he can be that.
Christian Romero.
How far can I go with this?
Yeah. Best centre back in the world.
Facts.
Now, why are you laughing back there? People will see within the next year or two, he'll be considered one of the best.
It's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
He's come under fire a bit, but I don't think there's no reason to get rid of him.
Also, his vibe is just great.
He does bring a lot of vibes. So.
I love it.
On the basis that he is just jokes.
Yeah, you know what?
He's not getting minutes. He's not getting anything. Just Scott Carson vibes. He's vibes.
The best job in football, third choice goalkeeper.
Yeah. He's just like the daddy of the dressing room,
Exactly.
isn't he? He's just there.
Yeah. I think I'm.
He wears my favourite number. No, that's not the reason. The reason I'm here is because he's still like a baby. And I think if he gets his loan to an English side, let him beef him up one season, see what he does. And if he's still a flop, I'm joining you.
The poor kid needs some creatine and some protein powder, I think, doesn't he?
Get on the weight. Get on the weight.
Like, he's so skillful, but if you've got no strength in the Premier League, you're getting nowhere. He hasn't had any game time, really, this season, any substantial game time anyway. But I just think there's just not really a place for him.
I just don't think he's built for the league, if I'm being honest.
Send him to Millwall. Like, get some gear in him.
Giovanni Lo Celso.
I've loved him since day one.
Yeah, same.
No, I think I'm over here. Those little bursts of when he's played, he's looked good, like it might have been the Chelsea game. So I do think he's been a little bit disrespected in that sense, but not getting the minutes. The only issue I have with him is that whenever he does play, he's then out for another 2 games. Yeah.
I can give him some creatine as well. Everyone come to the creatine factory. With Europe and everything, I think his ability when he does come on, it was the Chelsea game. He was on for 5 minutes and had more creative opportunities than anyone else on the pitch in 90 minutes. If he did have more than 5 minutes in a game, you probably would see goals, assists.
A player like Lo Celso to come off the bench and just infect the team with a little bit of creativity that we might not have had for 75 minutes, I just think is worth holding on to.
If you take the fitness aspect away, I'm over there because I think he's been, whenever he's played, he's been really, really encouraging this season. But we're, 5 years into him being at Spurs now? We signed him and Ndombele in 2019.
Yeah, but he was a Poch player, and then Poch left 4 months later, and then Mourinho, and then Conte, and then Nuno before, whatever it was, I can't remember. But it's like he hasn't actually had that stability in terms of a coach. Consistency around him based on his environment, I just can't see a reason to let him go.
Oh, the boy.
I actually
Beautiful.
arguably would say that's the easiest one of the lot.
Easiest.
Yeah.
That's a £100 million+ defender.
Just sell him to Leeds. Leeds fans seem to like him.
I'm so gutted he got injured.
Yeah.
I think he's another one for that. The Euros would have had like another breakout
Yeah,
tournament. But
Holds himself so well, pocketed so many huge players.
Personality-wise as well, I think he's great for the dressing room. He speaks well. For someone his age, who has never played in the hardest league in the world before, he's making it look like a walk in the park.
boy.
He's my boy.
He's
my
magic.
boy.
robbed of a Young Player of the Year nomination, by the way.
Yeah.
He is what Man United fans think Kobe Mainoo is. Phenomenal.
Bold, I'll be honest.
I'm dead serious. That's not me like on Mainoo. I think Mainoo's unbelievable. I just think Sarr doesn't get the credit he deserves because he's a Spurs.
That's true.
100%, yeah.
For the first half of the season, I thought he was phenomenal and like completely underrated as well. So.
That's one of my easiest keeps, I can't lie.
Yeah, I'm like,
No. I knew you would be there because you love him for some reason.
I love him. His vibes, I'm here for vibes. I'm always here for vibes.
That's not the argument I needed here.
We're going to
You're a bit over here by the time this
Also, I said it in your video last year.
Keep him on the right, definitely not the left, because that was abysmal. The Europe argument, like I actually wouldn't mind using him within that rotation.
I just don't think he's built for this inverted role.
No,
I don't think because it's pretty much, apart from the two centre-backs, it's all attacking for the rest of the team. And I think that is his biggest downfall. I think he's a decent defender. I just don't think he can contribute going forward at all, which is just a big problem in our team.
But I love him.
That's what I'm here as well.
I just love him.
I love him. I think he's kind of achieved like not quite Moussa Sissoko levels, but like cult hero status, I suppose.
Yeah.
But like he just slows us down all the time. It's just that he hasn't got the same ability to Porro to get his head up, pick a pass. And I think it ends up really kind of hamstringing us going forward. And I think this summer has got to be about, we've kind of built the squad over the last summer transfer window and a bit in January as well. That needs to continue, but I think there's got to be a massive upgrade in quality. And I think starting with someone like Emerson, I love him, but time to go.
I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
Young
Again,
boy,
young, yeah,
Go do
just-
your thing, bro, and come back when you're a bit better. I honestly forgot he existed. Oh my God, that's the striker problem. So, no, I'm kidding.
I just loan him, but I think loan to a Prem team.
Newly promoted side or someone in the bottom half of the league, like a Bournemouth, someone like that.
Alfie Devine.
I'm somewhere between.
Yeah, I'm like in between keeping.
He's a teenager. Keep him getting the experience and bring
That's
him
why
back.
I'm like, do we keep him in the squad as some young player that can help us in Europa?
Also, you've got someone like Jamie Donnelly who's kind of really emerged this season as well, who's probably taken his place in the pecking order, maybe.
Pierre Emile Højbjerg.
Oh, I feel so harsh. That
Just walk over the whole.
Makes me cry. I really like him as a person.
it's just not doesn't fit the system. I mean, and it makes it obvious that Ange doesn't he doesn't use him enough. Like clearly he's not ready. He's probably the most sellable asset we have right now.
He's either going to be brilliant or he's going to be absolutely terrible. And I think we saw that in the last few games of the season. He'll probably have a really decent Euros for Denmark, and then it'll be easier to move him on.
Ben Davies.
It's my guy.
I love him. But
Genuinely was convinced it would have been Son captain, Ben Davies
Yeah.
vice
Yeah, I
captain.
was as well, to be fair.
I was convinced. And it goes so under the radar, just like Son, he bleeds Tottenham.
my thing is more about just really going in on Ange, what he wants to build for the future and just looking forward. I think almost like a change of guard, getting rid of the old, sort of bringing in the new, which is why I think we were so willing to let go of Dyer, Sessegnon, and so on and so forth. So I don't mind keeping him for one more year or another couple of years. I don't know. I just really want to see us go all in and build for this.
I also want to see him win something with Spurs.
That
Like
would be
he's
nice.
been here
That would
so
be nice,
long
yeah.
now. I feel like you say with a changing of the guard, I feel like he deserves to get that trophy with us first.
I just think every squad needs kind of someone like that. Every squad needs a Ben Davies. And I think, again, I'd love to see him win something with us. Whether that happens this year or not, who knows? But yeah, I think, I'd keep him around.
Union Sol.
Don't you dare!
Don't you dare! I'm kidding.
I was gonna say.
I'm kidding.
I don't think we need to explain why.
He's my captain, love him, you just keep him.
Plus, also that miss against Man City cost Arsenal the league. So
So
That is
Spurs.
yes.
He is Spurs. Keep it all for that alone.
Dejan Kulusevski.
Easy.
Yeah.
Needs a little bit of a pickup in his kind of work rate and performances. They've kind of slipped a bit this season.
Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, it's just two.
He's my little dude. I love him.
No, I think he's another player that I think's overhated, like you were saying.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's great to have as an option in the squad in terms of what he can bring. He's not that great when he's got the ball at his feet running at players, but again, I think he's been misprofiled a little bit. We were so keen to get in that like dribbly 1v1 winger last summer, which is something we still need to do this time around. And he's not really that. He was judged off the price tag, but his output, I think 15 goals and assists in the Premier League. I might be wrong, but like it was around that
Yeah,
kind of.
he got 10 assists. Which
Yeah.
is, like really
It's
impressive
great.
for a first. 22.
Yeah. And I'm kind of with you. I just want to protect him. Like he's
He's
just so,
just
like,
so cute. Just
yeah.
like,
I love him.
Oliver Skip.
I think he's been a class servant to the club for as long as humanly possible. I just don't quite think he's at that quality level that we need moving forward in that position.
he has shown that he can play in a lot of different roles and is a much more versatile than just being the midfielder he was. I think he's just a good filler for when we've got injuries, when we're in Europe, when we've got all these different things going on that we might need them backup players. He's homegrown as well, which helps obviously with the Europe stuff.
When we look at the pecking order of midfielders, we've got Bentancur, Basuma. We're probably going to sign another defensive midfielder. Bergval's coming in. We've got Maddison, maybe another attacking midfielder. I just don't see where he comes in there. Yes, he played left back for a bit, but I'd like to think we'd actually sign other fullbacks to play in that position. And I know we've got the homegrown issue, but I think that's why we're targeting players like Marcus Edwards.
I'm not desperate to keep him. If the right offer comes in, then I think it would be smart to let him go because, like you said, the kind of players that we're targeting. But I kind of just feel like for the stability of the squad, every kind of squad needs an Oliver Skip, someone that you know you can rely on when they come in.
Nana Son.
Probably, I don't know. I actually don't know with him, to be honest with you. We haven't seen like any of him at all, apart from like the first two games of the season.
He's been out since September. In those attacking positions, we've got a lot of depth already. It's about making upgrades, and I think it's about being harsh on players like Hill and Solomon, we didn't pay anything for him. If someone came in for him, it would be profit.
I mean, yeah, if we got a fee for him and it was like desirable, a couple mil, which he's worth more than that in my opinion, but a couple mil is just not worth it when you've got a squad player you didn't pay for. Plus, I am solely standing here on the basis that I went to Barcelona for the pre-season friendly last year. He actually played quite well. My girlfriend at the time looked at him, knows nothing about football, and went, "Oh, I really like him. He's good." And I was like, "All right, cool. That's enough for me."
Right, fair enough.
Absolutely. Then again, she's not in a picture anymore. There you go. So let's see what's happening.
Sergio Ricky.
Oh, see, there we go. There's your line.
Actually, no, I'm gonna move. I think he's clearly not
same.
He's clearly not in the manager's plans. Like that's just clear.
When you look at how composed Udogie is on the ball, I think Reguilon's like a headless chicken compared to him. And I think there's an opportunity to make some money as well. So I think,
Yeah, I do think if we get the right price, then get rid of him. But I also would be happy just to loan him out again.
Jed Spence.
Yeah. Clearly, it seemed like a club signing more than
But
anything.
he was, and they admitted that.
Yeah.
It was Conte we had at the time, though. He came in and said, I'm not going on loan, then went on loan. And where he went on loan, the manager turned around and said, he ain't good enough. And it's like, maybe we wasted our money here, so.
Rodrigo Benton.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Easy job.
Yeah.
I think once he gets an Ange pre-season under his belt as well, which he didn't have last year because he was out injured, I think we're going to see him go back to that level that we saw under Conte. Again, a little bit like Sarr, I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves because he is a Spurs player. He was phenomenal for us under Conte, arguably our best player alongside Harry Kane up until he got injured that season.
I think he just needs to work out his place in the team. I think it's changed slightly with Ange's system, and I feel like he hasn't been able to show the Bentancur we saw before.
I think people seem to forget how bad that injury was.
Yeah.
Like you're not coming straight back from an injury like that. So yeah, you're right. Such a hard one. It's so sentimental, but I honestly think it's time.
Yeah,
I think it's time.
you know.
I really, don't get me wrong, when he puts on a green shirt and plays for his country, sick.
Yeah.
Actually, then again, he's tearing it up in Holland, but his team went down. But this team went down and he scored a bunch of goals.
He scored like 14 goals.
And now better teams in Holland won him.
I think that's kind of more of a promising sign. If he's doing it for a team that are really struggling, kind of putting them on his back a little bit. I really want it to work out for him. He was a bit unlucky when he kind of first came through. He was only 17. There was so much pressure. I think I'm probably like in the middle because I think I would keep him around maybe until January, give him a few minutes competing with someone like Scarlett in the Europa League, and then see what you do with him. And then maybe if there is still that interest in him, because I think someone like AZ Alkmaar, who, again, that's a pretty well-established side in Holland, if they're after him, means you could probably get some decent money. But
I'm going to stand in loan now because and I know I've changed my mind a lot, but he's so desperate to fight for his place at Spurs. I think if we did loan him out to a club who is a little bit bigger than where he's been previously, and he really shows, look, Ange, this is what I'm doing out here. You have to bring me back. Yeah. Sick.
I just have dreams of Harry Kane 2.0 where he had like so many failed loans and then all of a sudden it just worked. Like I want to almost see him have the same chance that Kane got in the Europa League just to see if he is at that level or not. That's why I'm in like key.